This page is the cover of a Sega Saturn Fan Magazine, featuring dynamic artwork of Sakura from Street Fighter Alpha and Morrigan from Darkstalkers. The issue highlights a super scoop and features detailed strategies for games. Prominently featured games include Darkstalkers, Street Fighter Alpha, and a special section dedicated to Sega AM2's fighting lineup, including Virtua Fighter 3, Virtua Fighter Kids, and Fighting Vipers. Other titles mentioned on the cover include King of Fighters 95, Angelique, IREM Arcade Classics, Wizardry V2 and Version 2i, Sakura Wars, Shin Megami Tensei, Virtua Fighter 2, and Guardian Heroes, indicating a diverse range of content within the magazine. This page features a spread showcasing two distinct J.League soccer games for the Sega Saturn, focusing on the theme of growing the sport and growing through the sport. On the left, Let's Make a J.League Pro Soccer Club is highlighted, a sports training and management simulation game. Screenshots display menu interfaces for managing the club, including training, club selection, and the office. It emphasizes building a dream team in your town. The right side promotes J.League Victory Goal 96, a direct soccer simulation game with multi-terminal compatibility. It features action-packed gameplay screenshots and highlights its realistic player individuality, command input system, and commentary by notable figures. The spread uses a mix of 3D character art and gameplay visuals to illustrate both the strategic depth of the management sim and the on-field action of the gameplay simulation. This page features a spread showcasing three distinct titles from Victor Entertainment for the Sega Saturn. On the left is Sea Bass Fishing, presented as an authentic sea fishing simulation game. The artwork highlights a large base and scenic fishing spots, with screenshots showing the detailed game interface for line control and tension management. It promises realistic 3D polygon fish battles and includes features like commentary from a professional angler, making it accessible for both experienced fishermen and newcomers. This title was scheduled for release on February 23, 1996. The top right section promotes Thunderhawk 2, an intense combat helicopter simulation. The key art features the titular Thunderhawk helicopter in action, emphasizing high-speed aerial warfare against global terrorists in 1999 as part of a NATO task force. Screenshots display realistic environments and combat scenarios. The game boasts 3D terrain, diverse missions, and strategic weapon selection. It was also slated for a February 23, 1996 release. The bottom right section features Kyo Flying Squadron 2, an action game set in a bizarre, late Edo period Edo. The artwork showcases the main characters, the bunny girl Raimi and her raccoon companion Spot, alongside colorful screenshots of the game's quirky environments. The text highlights the return of this unique duo to cause chows in a comedic adventure. This action title was planned for a March 1996 release. All three games were published by Victor Entertainment. This page showcases two exciting titles from Koei. On the left we have Gotha 2, Night of the Sky, the highly anticipated second installment in the 3D simulation series. This sequel goes beyond the original, offering impressive 3D visuals and strategic gameplay centered around commanding spaceships in tactical combat on a hex-based map. Featuring new weapons and even ship transformations, the game boasts a multi-scenario ending and a voice cast of prominent Japanese actors. Gotha 2 was released on February 23 for 6,800 yen. On the right, the page introduces Nanatsu no Hikan, 7 Mansions, a unique mystery adventure game written by Naoki Prize-winning author Keiki Shimoda, marking his first venture into game development. The title features smooth and beautiful 3D CG environments. The compelling narrative is brought to life by famous voice actors. Set within 7 mysterious mansions, the game challenges players with intricate riddles and a shocking plot. Nanatsu no Hikan was scheduled for release on April 5, with a tentative price of 7,800 yen. The next page showcases two distinct titles hitting the Sega Saturn. On the left, we have Can Can Bunny Premiere, described as a lovely love adventure game, arriving as a spectacular anime experience. This Saturn exclusive from Kid boasts an impressive 32,000 colors and supports the shuttle mouse, promising to capture the subtle emotions of a girl through multiple endings. Screenshots show various character interactions and settings, highlighting the anime art style. This title was slated for an April 1996 release, priced at 5,800 yen. On the right is My Best Friends, an 18+ rated puzzle game published by Atlas. The objective here is to complete jigsaw puzzles featuring angels after school within a limited time, with the movie unlocked upon completion changing based on your clear time through 4 stages. Screenshots display the puzzle interface alongside the character art you are piecing together. This puzzle game for one player was scheduled for a late March release with a price of 6,800 yen. This page features information about a game design school and a comic anthology based on a popular fighting game series. On the left, the Tokyo game designer Gakuen promotes its courses for aspiring game creators, covering roles like designer, artist, planner, scenario writer, sound creator, and multimedia creator. They highlight success stories of students finding jobs in the game industry, showcasing 2 alumni. The school was holding visits for prospective students in April 1996 and accepting applications for March 1996 enrollment. The right side showcases the Battle Arena to Jeshinden 1 and 2 comic anthology. This is a collection of comics based on the first 2 entries in the action-packed fighting game franchise. The page features striking artwork of characters from the series. The anthology was published on February 9, 1996, containing 168 pages and priced at 780 yen. It brings together various game comics based on the world of Battle Arena to Shinden. This page serves as the contents for Saturn Fan Magazine, dated February 16, 1996. It highlights upcoming games and features with striking visuals. Prominently displayed are promotions for Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner, an RPG with character art and screenshots, and Donpachi, a scrolling shooter featuring spacecraft and enemies. The contents list covers various topics, including a special feature on Sega AM2 research, a top scoop on Angelique Special, and reports on highly anticipated titles like Sakura Wars and Vampire Hunter, known internationally as Darkstalkers. There are also strategy guides for games like Street Fighter Zero, Street Fighter Alpha, and a detailed look at Virtua Coliseum, part of the Fighters Megamix series. The page mentions other sections covering new releases, game information, and a coming soon list. A game index is also present on the right side listing numerous titles. This page kicks off the magazine's opening feature, diving into the highly anticipated Sakura Wars. Front and center is beautiful artwork of the protagonist, Sakura Shinguji, sword in hand, ready for action. The article highlights the game's unique blend of dramatic adventure elements and strategic simulation combat. Screenshots showcase the tactical battle system, featuring a quarter-view map where players move units and engage enemies, as well as windows detailing character parameters and action choices during combat. A major piece of news revealed here is that the game's capacity has been significantly increased, leading to it becoming a 2-disc set, promising a larger and more in-depth experience. Consequently, the release date is noted as being postponed to September. The page establishes the game as an adventure and simulation hybrid developed by Sega and Red. This page delves deeper into the mechanics and characters of Sakura Wars, continuing the feature from the previous page. It highlights the adventure part, where players, as Ichiro Ogami, engage in conversations with the female characters. These interactions are crucial, as they subtly influence the characters' psychology and relationships, directly impacting the strategic simulation battles later on. The system involves making choices in dialogue or answering questions. Several members of the Imperial Combat Review's Flower Division are introduced with artwork and screenshots. We see Sumire Kanzaki, the elegant and somewhat haughty daughter of a wealthy family. Kana Kirishima, a strong martial artist from Okinawa known for her passion. Koran Lee, a brilliant but sometimes messy inventor from China. Maria Tachibana, the cool and collected Russian leader of the team. And Iris, the youthful French mascot with surprising potential. The page also includes an update on the game's production, noting that the final voice recording session has been completed. A photo shows the voice actresses for the Flower Division together, and the article comments on the quality of the voice work and music contributing to the game's atmosphere. This page provides the latest scoop on Vampire Hunter, known internationally as Darkstalkers Revenge, revealing more about this incredible fighting action game. The article highlights that the porting work for the Sega Saturn is entering its final stages, and delves into some of the original features unique to this version. Prominently featured are striking illustrations of various Darkstalkers characters like Hisienko, John Talbane, and Morrigan Ainsland, alongside action-packed screenshots showing characters such as Donovan, Pyron, Hsienko, and Sasquatch in battle. A key original element discussed is the new shortcut select mode, designed to speed up getting into matches, particularly for versus and CPU battles. Other Saturn additions mentioned include options for screen size, arcade or full screen, and the ability to configure controls while paused. The page also proudly states that the opening demo and other production elements are now complete, promising the same high quality as the arcade version. It's clear the magazine is excited for fans to see the full scope of Darkstalkers Revenge as it nears release on the Saturn. This page provides an exciting look into the fighting systems and reveals the full lineup of 14 characters for Darkstalkers Revenge on the Sega Saturn. It highlights the appeal of the game's hunter style, emphasizing the fluid chain combos, strategic guard cancels, powerful special moves, and the unique, expressive character designs. Detailed explanations are given for key mechanics like the guard reversal, allowing for quick counterattacks after blocking, and the use of the special gauge for enhanced X special moves and devastating X special moves, which can turn the tide of battle. The page also showcases the chain combo system, demonstrating how connecting normal attacks from weak to strong creates multi-hit attacks. Character spotlights are provided for Dmitry Maximov and Morrigan Aisland. Dmitry is described as a versatile fighter, excelling in normal attacks and airborne combat, with the ability to cancel his dash into special moves. Morrigan is noted for her user-friendly chain combos and signature moves like Shadow Blade, effective as an anti-air, and her array of powerful X abilities like Darkness Illusion. Screenshots across the page illustrate these systems and character abilities, featuring battles between various fighters including Rikuo, Huitzil, John Talbane, Bishaman, Sasquatch, Felicia, and Donovan, demonstrating the game's vibrant action. The magazine clearly feels the game's systems are beautifully replicated on the Saturn, promising a faithful arcade experience. The next page continues the character showcase for Darkstalkers Revenge. It delves into the unique fighting styles of 4 more members of the diverse roster. First up is Hsienko, highlighted for her unusual movement and technical gameplay. While her special moves are powerful, mastering her unique flow takes practice. Her signature moves involve throwing a barrage of hidden weapons and utilizing aerial dashes for mobility. Next, Donovan Bane is presented as a powerful fighter who channels elemental spirits through his sword. His techniques are described as visually impressive and effective, focusing on potent sword attacks and summons. Bishaman follows, characterized by command-based sword attacks and projectiles. His moves include a versatile returning blade and a powerful charging slash, noted for their good reach and damage potential. Finally, Lord Raptor is showcased, known for his tricky teleportation, Death Hurricane, and ability to combine it with moves like Hell's Gate to quickly close distance or escape. His attacks often have surprisingly long reach, making him a dangerous opponent at various ranges. Screenshots across the page illustrate these characters in action, demonstrating their distinctive special moves and fighting styles within the game's vibrant environments, further emphasizing the varied combat options available in Darkstalkers Revenge. This page continues showcasing the fighters in Darkstalkers Revenge. It introduces 4 more distinctive characters and their combat techniques. Victor von Gerdenheim is highlighted for his ability to shock opponents with electrical attacks, leaving them open for follow-up assaults. He also possesses powerful command throws that are difficult to escape. Sasquatch is shown to have strong, impactful normal attacks, excelling with jump and dash attacks that can be chained into a cyclone special. His command throw is also noted. Rikuo, the Merman, features moves like Poison Breath and Sonic Wave that can hinder enemy movement. His powerful X move, Direct Scissors, and ability to avoid projectiles are also mentioned. Finally, John Talbane is described as a fast, offensive character, capable of performing chain combos and special moves in multiple directions, including the Beast Cannon and Climb Razor for anti-air defense. Screenshots demonstrate these characters executing their signature moves and powerful X attacks. This page continues the coverage of Darkstalkers Revenge, introducing 4 more fighters. Anakaris, the Egyptian pharaoh, is highlighted for his ability to absorb projectiles and float. His key moves include Pharaoh's Curse, which drags opponents into the ground, and Silence, which swallows projectiles. Next is Felicia, a swift character known for chaining hits. Her abilities include the Sand Splash projectile, the Rapid Rolling Scratch, and the Command Throw Hellcat. Phobos, known internationally as Huitzil, is a robot specializing in projectile combat, with attacks like the Plasma Beam and Genocide Vulcan. He can also perform a guard reversal, and has the powerful Final Guardian X attack. Finally, Pyron is featured as a strong character with powerful projectiles and throws. His special moves include Zodiac Fire, Soul Smasher, and the impressive Cosmo Disruption. Screenshots throughout the page demonstrate these characters executing their signature techniques and devastating X moves. This page reveals that Koei's popular Super Famicom romance simulation game, Angelique Special, is being ported to the Sega Saturn. It highlights the Saturn version will feature added anime scenes and voice acting, a significant upgrade from the original. The game is described as a romance simulation for girls, made by female staff, where the player aims to become queen while interacting with a cast of handsome male guardians. The page includes illustrations of the protagonist Angelique, her rival Rosalia, and several of the male guardians, such as Oscar and Julius, emphasizing their handsome designs. There's also a small interview section discussing the decision to port the game to Saturn and the advantages of the platform for adding visual and audio content. Screenshots show various character interactions and the game's interface. This page introduces Trip Scoop 2 Raparasu Panic, a variety game centered around challenging a large cast of beautiful girls in various minigames. The game features a story mode, where players face off against different characters across multiple themed fields, aiming to win to unlock special graphics, including swimsuit illustrations of the girls. There's also a game-only mode for simply playing the diverse selection of games without the story progression or character unlocks. The 10 different game types cover a range of genres, from casino classics like poker, blackjack, and roulette, to puzzle games like Spot the Difference and Jigsaw, plus memory games, and even something akin to Whack-A-Mole. With its focus on simple, fun gameplay and attractive character designs voiced by popular actors, it looks like a lighthearted collection designed for players who enjoy interactive character galleries alongside their minigames. This page is dedicated to Trip Scoop 3, featuring IRAM arcade classics, bringing back nostalgic arcade titles from the 80s. It highlights a collection of 3 classic IRAM games, fully ported to the Sega Saturn. First up is what's called Spartan X, known internationally as Kung Fu Master. This is hailed as the origin of the fighting action genre, where you play as Thomas, fighting through waves of enemies to rescue your girlfriend Sylvia. Screenshots show the classic side-scrolling action and boss fights. Next is Zippy Race, a cross-country racing game covering 5,000 kilometers from Los Angeles to New York. The text describes the challenge of avoiding obstacles and managing fuel, aiming for the best time while listening to rock and roll. Screenshots show the top-down perspective transforming into a 3D view during gameplay. Finally, there's 10-Yard Fight, a strategic American football game focused on the offensive side. You must advance 10 yards within 3 downs to continue the drive, aiming for touchdowns. Screenshots depict the top-down view of the football field. The page also includes an IRAM lecture section, introducing the company famous for games like R-Type. It briefly mentions other IRAM titles like Mr. Heli, Kaite de Sensu, In the Hunt, Ganbare Daiku no Gensan, Hammer and Harry, and Soul, Monaju, Solitaire. This section seems to give context about IRAM's legacy in gaming. This page is dedicated to the upcoming Neon Genesis Evangelion adventure game. It's an exciting look at how the massively popular anime is being adapted into an interactive experience for the Saturn. Gainax is bringing this hit series to the adventure game genre, featuring a multi-scenario system where your choices influence the story. The page showcases character profiles for key figures like Shinji Ikari, Rei Ayanami, Asuka Langley Soryu, Misato Katsuragi, Ritsuko Akagi, Tuji Suzuhara, and Kensuke Aida. Each profile includes a brief description and their voice actor, giving fans a good overview of the cast involved. Screenshots highlight the game's visuals, which appear to replicate the anime style, particularly during character interactions and key scenes. The text emphasizes that the game aims to maintain the atmosphere of the TV series while offering an original story with branching paths. An interesting feature mentioned is the replay function, allowing players to rewatch cleared scenarios, including the opening and ending sequences, giving it a similar feel to watching episodes of the show. It looks like a promising adaptation for fans of the anime. This page delves into the intricate scenario mode of the upcoming Neon Genesis Evangelion adventure game. It highlights the chameleon scenario mode, emphasizing how player choices significantly impact the game's progression and lead to varying endings. The core game flow is laid out in a diagram. Starting with a prologue, the story branches into 3 main arcs: battle, school, and wandering, before converging into an epilogue and finally reaching one of multiple endings. The outcome of events in the prologue, particularly simulator battles, determines which arc the player enters. The page dedicates sections to each arc. The prologue focuses on Shinji's encounter with angels and subsequent memory loss. The school arc presents a lighter, comedic drama centered around school life, particularly the cultural festival, offering a chance to recover memories. The battle arc is action-heavy, focusing on angel combat and Shinji absorbing terrifying memories. The wandering arc sees Shinji leave Nerve, exploring the city and absorbing angel memories, leading to encounters with key characters like Rei and Asuka. Screenshots illustrate scenes from each arc, showcasing character interactions, battle sequences, and various locations, maintaining the distinctive visual style of the anime. The system promises a deep, replayable experience where different decisions and battle outcomes reveal unique story paths and conclusions. This page dives into the intense battle mode of Neon Genesis Evangelion, where quick timing and speed are crucial. The core flow of combat involves a slot machine mechanic to determine if you'll attack or defend. Based on the outcome, you then execute either an attack or defense sequence, followed by map movement across the city. During defense, you must rapidly assess the attacking angel's state and input the correct defense formation and distance within a strict time limit to avoid damage. Quick reactions can even lead to counterattacks. The game features 4 attack methods, ranging from direct assaults utilizing the field to risky finishing moves that depend on the sync rate. Successfully attacking also requires quickly judging the situation and selecting the appropriate method. After the fight, strategic map movement is key. Moving to blue areas on the map restores sync rate and HP, while red areas deplete them. The distance you can move is affected by your performance in the previous battle. Finally, the page touches on various events that can occur during combat, such as weapon exchanges facilitated by Nerve HQ, and critical challenges like the timed power source cut, forcing you to reach a power supply before the EVA shuts down. There's even mention of the EVA potentially going berserk at low sync rates. Overall, it highlights a dynamic battle system integrated with strategic map navigation and unpredictable events. This page delves into the development of Panzer Dragoon Saga, announcing that progress is on track for a March release. It focuses on showcasing the game's evolution and detailing a major boss encounter. The article provides a breakdown of the battle against the giant transport warship boss, illustrating its multi-phased attack strategy. It features cannons, deployable weapons, and even missiles as the boss is progressively damaged, emphasizing the scale and dynamic nature of these encounters. Screenshots showcase the boss's various forms and attacks throughout the fight. Additionally, the page highlights the player's dragon, noting its ability to grow and evolve during the game, a central feature emphasized with screenshots of the dragon's transformation. An interview with the producer, Yukio Futatsugi, discusses the development process, the challenges faced compared to the first game, the significant increase in graphical detail and overall quality, and the focus on creating a replayable experience with branching routes and hidden elements. The page includes character art and several in-game screenshots, showcasing the environments, enemies, and the dragon in action. This page dives deep into the boss encounters players will face in Panzer Dragoon Saga's forest stage, highlighting the game's branching paths and the unique challenges each presents. Depending on the route taken, players will battle one of 2 mid-bosses. On the left path awaits the imposing assault battleship, a colossal, ancient creature encased in dark armor, known for its incredible durability and ability to deploy numerous smaller enemies. Taking the right path leads to the Forbidden Serpent King, Naga, a massive flying serpent that relentlessly pursues the player through the dense forest. The page then focuses on the main stage boss, Hanuman, a powerful biological weapon. This creature showcases agile, monkey-like movements, using its long arms to swing through the trees and traverse the environment. Hanuman attacks with a variety of techniques, including melee claw swipes, projectile amoeba shots, flame pods launched onto the ground, and even a boomerang attack that requires careful evasion. The page notes that the homing laser is a particularly effective weapon against this mobile foe. A small commentary box provides a brief, charming observation on Hanuman's unique appearance and movement. Screenshots throughout the page showcase the intimidating presence and diverse attacks of each of these forest guardians. This page delves into the Operation File expansion for World Advanced Daisen Ryaku, a strategy simulation game. The magazine highlights that this expansion is packed with content, essentially serving as a comprehensive guide and expansion. It details the various modes available, including campaign, standard, and difficulty levels like beginner, expert, and even multiplayer options. A key feature is the inclusion of new campaigns, particularly a Soviet Army campaign where players command Russian forces against Germany, featuring strategic points like Kiev, Moscow, and Stalingrad. Another intriguing addition is the mysterious Cenozoic campaign, described as representing new life, hinting at a historical scenario possibly diverging from known events. The page also touches on the game's units, noting the ability to utilize Soviet weaponry and highlighting specific tank matchups like the T-34 versus the Panzer IV. Visuals showcase the tactical maps, unit information displays, and engaging battle scenes featuring tanks, aircraft, and even night combat, indicating a visually updated experience from the previous game. The opening sequence has also reportedly changed, offering diverse camera angles and situations like bombing runs and night battles. This page focuses on adding substantial content and new perspectives to the game. This page details the World Advanced Daizenryaku Operation File expansion, introducing new campaigns, modes, Soviet units, and a mysterious Cenozoic scenario. This page dives deeper into the Operation File expansion for World Advanced Daizenryaku, highlighting the wealth of content it adds. The standard mode offers a wide variety of maps, catering to everyone from beginners to seasoned experts, and supports exciting multiplayer options. The expansion includes historically significant battle maps, like the intense winter war between Finland and the Soviet Union, and the massive Allied airborne assault of Operation Market Garden. Players will also find maps previously exclusive to the campaign mode, and even remade maps from earlier titles in the legendary Daizenryaku series, bringing back classics with updated visuals. The game introduces new units, such as the formidable Soviet 28 and KV-2 tanks, along with detailed Finnish infantry units like ski troops. The graphics see improvements, with enhanced polygon models and animations bringing the battles to life. An interview with the developer confirms the focus on the standard mode's replayability, balancing historical accuracy with engaging gameplay, and teases the challenge of the next-level difficulty. Overall, the expansion is packed with maps, units, and visual upgrades for countless hours of strategic warfare. This page provides a deep dive into the highly anticipated mech combat simulator, Gungrafon, the Eurasian Conflict. The focus is squarely on the game's central military units, the AWGS, Armored Walking Gun Systems. These impressive bipedal mechs are highlighted as the core of military power in the game's 21st century setting, possessing tank-level armor and surprising mobility over difficult terrain. The page showcases several AWGS from different nations, including America's M15 Landcrab with its distinctive manipulators, Japan's reliable Type 9, Germany's robust Tiger, and France's lightweight Autruche export model. It also reveals the inclusion of new tank models, adding to the diverse arsenal. Players can hone their skills in the exercise mode, which features a challenging time attack variant, where speed is key. The game offers two distinct difficulty levels: Beginner, which emphasizes defensive tactics on a snowy map, and Expert, a more aggressive mode set on a grassland map with limited radar support, demanding precise attacks to clear large numbers of enemies. Screenshots illustrate the intense action and the game's visual style. This page dives deep into mastering the four primary weapons of the HIMAX in Gungrafon, the Eurasian Conflict, each designed for specific combat scenarios. The ATM guided missile is your go-to for heavily armored targets, offering high power against moving threats, though it requires a lock-on. The main gun is a reliable, continuous fire weapon, effective up close, capable of automatic fire, but beware as explosions can obscure your target. For agile foes like helicopters or close encounters, the machine gun offers unlimited ammo and sustained fire, though its power is low and it can overheat, making long-range hits difficult. Finally, the rocket pod provides devastating area effect damage, perfect for clearing groups, but its ammunition is limited. The magazine also explains the scoring system, crucial for mastering the game's score attack mode. Points vary by target type, with aircraft yielding the highest multiplier, and a significant bonus is awarded for destroying enemies at close range, encouraging aggressive tactics. There's even a section detailing the DLS, Data Link System, a valuable tool that provides strategic information on enemy movements via satellite link, allowing players to scout ahead and plan their attacks effectively. This page features a special report unveiling a new game titled Dyna Heart Irun, developed by GameArts and based on the work of manga artist Izumi Takemoto, known for Yumemic Kusu. Described as an interactive comic adventure, the game features anime-style visuals and allows players to influence the story through choices. The report introduces the three main characters, Emmy and Ange, twin sisters living at a school for dinosaur tamers, and Ryan, a classmate. The game is set on an island south of the equator where humans and dinosaurs coexist, with the school being the primary location for the story's progression, which promises a dreamlike adventure with the main trio and dinosaurs. A preview version of Dino Heart Iron is set for early release, with the full game aiming for visuals comparable to a theatrical anime, boasting over 1,500 animation cuts. An interview with the development team reveals that Izumi Takemoto was heavily involved in the original story and character design. They discuss the game's interactive comic format, smooth presentation, and highlight that Takemoto is composing the opening and ending themes, suggesting music will be a significant element in this new world. This page unveils the first look at Langrisser 2i for the Sega Saturn. Known for its deep strategy and command-based combat, the series is making a significant leap with this new entry. The page highlights the signature character designs by Satoshi Urushihara, showcasing some of the main female characters including Tiaris, Lifany, Luna, Jessica, and Sophia. The biggest news is the introduction of a semi-real-time battle system, moving away from the strict turn-based phases of previous titles. This change aims to make combat more dynamic, requiring players to anticipate enemy actions rather than simply reacting during their turn. Screenshots demonstrate both the strategic map view and the close-up battle scenes. Development is reported to be progressing well, with the team emphasizing improvements in graphics and presentation, aiming for the best entry in the series yet. This page introduces Langrisser 2i for the Sega Saturn, featuring new characters, Satoshi Urushihara's designs, and a significant shift to a semi-real-time battle system. This page takes a deep dive into Alone in the Dark 2 for the Sega Saturn, highlighting its unique gameplay elements. The article emphasizes the game's mix of investigation, puzzle solving, and intense action as Edward Carnby searches for Grace. Combat involves both hand-to-hand and gunplay, with tips provided on using the environment to your advantage. A major point discussed is the game's dynamic fixed camera system, explaining how varying angles can significantly affect gameplay and strategic approach. The page also showcases the game's often bizarre inventory, featuring items with unconventional uses, like a rope and hook to interact with statues, or even a frying pan used as a weapon. Beware the game's signature, often instantly fatal traps, such as collapsing floors or cursed garden tiles, which demand extreme caution. The article also hints at unique elements, like using a Santa Claus disguise. It's clear the magazine is excited about the game's challenging puzzles and deadly surprises. This page prominently features the upcoming release of Albert Odyssey, Legend of Eldian, an epic RPG for the Sega Saturn. The main artwork showcases the vibrant fantasy world and its main characters, hinting at a grand adventure. Smaller screenshots give a glimpse of the turn-based combat system. The page announces the game is scheduled for release in March 1996. On the right side, the Ranking Street section presents sales data from readers and retailers. This 2-week snapshot shows the top-selling games for the Saturn, Sega 32X, Mega CD, and Game Gear. Sega Rally Championship holds the top spot for 2 consecutive weeks, demonstrating its enduring popularity. Virtua Fighter 2 also maintains a high position, showcasing the fighting game's strong sales performance. Other notable titles appearing in the rankings include Mobile Suit Gundam, Puyo Puyo 2, and Theme Park. This section provides a solid look at what Saturn owners were buying at the time. This page is a reader survey and feedback postcard for Saturn Fan Magazine, addressed to Takuma Shuten Intermedia. It serves as a way for readers to communicate with the magazine staff and potentially enter giveaways. Readers fill in their name, address, age, and phone number. They can also indicate which section of the magazine their feedback is intended for, such as the widely followed Ranking Street, the Game Research Institute, or other areas. The lower portion includes a section for applying for reader presents, and includes survey questions or ranking grids related to games. Several notable titles are listed here, giving us a glimpse into what Saturn owners were playing and thinking about, including classics like Fatal Fury, Virtua Fighter 2, Street Fighter Alpha, Virtua Cop, Guardian Heroes, and even the less common Crayon Shin-chan, the great demon king of chaos. It's a direct line from the players to the magazine, helping shape future content. This page dives into the highly anticipated ranking street, presenting the top Sega Saturn games as voted by readers. The top spots are dominated by shooters and simulation titles. The chart details readers' scores across various categories like difficulty, music, graphics, and overall satisfaction, culminating in a total score and rank change. Taking the number 1 spot is Darius Gaiden, praised as a must-have shooter with excellent production values and depth, despite some noting minor graphical slowdowns. It was particularly appreciated for its unique bosses, distinct sound design, and the inclusion of an easier player mode. However, the removal of the score-saving feature from the arcade version was a point of criticism. Coming in second is Gunbird, another solid shooter. Readers enjoyed its distinct characters. Multiple play modes, including an arcade-perfect version of Strikers 1945, and cooperative play. The Sweet Whispers highlight the fun characters and varied gameplay modes, while Bitter Complaints mention that difficulty can feel uneven at times. Third place goes to DX, The Game of Life, a digital adaptation of the classic board game. It was seen as an essential simulation title for the Saturn, offering varied events and player interaction. Readers appreciated the faithful adaptation and the enjoyment it offered in group settings, though some felt the limited interaction with other players and lack of unlockables were minor drawbacks. The sentiment is that it's a great party game experience on the console. Following the top 3, the Sega Saturn's reader-voted best games continue. Clockwork Knight, Pepelucho's Bag, 4th, offered vast content but lacked character variety. In the Hunt, 5th, provided intense submarine shooting action, though difficulty fluctuated. Quo Vadis, 6th, captivated with its story and characters, tying into other media. Wangan Dead Heat, 7th, impressed with graphics and cooperative racing, but the story was weak. Chibi Maruko-chan no Taisen Puzzle Dama, 8th, charmed with its cute characters despite being a standard puzzle game. Marriage, 9th, disappointed some despite featuring famous voice actors. Finally, The High Rollers Golf, 10th, offered enjoyable golf mechanics with a challenging course, yet suffered from rough graphics and underwhelming weather effects. This page continues the reader-voted rankings. Ranked 11th is Christmas Nights into Dreams, praised for its visuals and festive atmosphere, though some found it brief. Coming in at 12th is Magical Drop, a puzzle game loved for its cute characters and addictive gameplay, despite some finding the difficulty inconsistent. 13th place goes to Princess Maker 2, a life simulation game with charming graphics and characters that resonated with players. At 14th is Digital Pinball, Last Gladiators, a well-received pinball simulation, though some felt it lacked depth compared to others. Also featured is a ranking of games readers want ported to the Saturn. Topping the list are Tekken 2, Final Fantasy VI, and others like Samurai Showdown 2i and Ridge Racer. Readers express strong desire for these titles and mention specific aspects they hope for in a port, like graphics and features. Finally, there's a call for reader game reviews, listing upcoming titles they want feedback on, such as Fatal Fury Collection and Creature Shock. This page dives deep into the puzzle game, Baku Baku Animal, featuring a joint event and contest by Saturn Fan Magazine and Sega's AM3 development team. It highlights an interview with Mr. Watanabe from AM3, who shares secrets behind the game's development and answers fan questions, including tips for the Zookeeper skill test mode. Score examples and the current national top score are also shown. A major reveal is the character naming process, with insights into the origins of characters like the Silver and Gold Angels, Gairapi, Nurse Crepe, and Fet 3. Mr. Watanabe mentions how some character designs were influenced by previous Sega arcade games, like Virtua Fighter or Fighting Vipers. Finally, a contest is announced for players to submit their high scores from the Zookeeper skill test mode by February 15th for a chance to win exclusive Baku Baku Animal prizes. The next page is the Conehead Club, a dedicated section for Sega Saturn fans to share their art, opinions, and contributions. It features various reader submissions, including illustrations of characters from popular games like Honey from Fighting Vipers and Janet Marshall from Virtua Cop. Readers also share their thoughts on Virtua Fighter characters and mention other games like Battle Arena to Shinden. There's a feature spotlighting a reader's real-life car inspired by Sega Rally 96. The page includes fan comics, a quiz for readers, and outlines the rules for submitting content to the club. Overall, it's a vibrant display of the Saturn community's passion for their favorite games and characters. This page features a reader-present giveaway and a special feature on AM2 Lab. The giveaway section lists prizes including Saturn games like Wizard's Harmony, Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner, Tenchi Muyo, Rajuki, Xadron Paradise, Toshinden 2, and DEFCON 5, along with merchandise. It also details the winners of the contest. The special feature highlights AM2's work with striking polygonal artwork, showcasing characters from Virtua Fighter Kids and Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. It references the ongoing excitement surrounding Virtua Fighter 2 and teases new information from the legendary AM2 team. The page includes an interview with Toshihiro Nagoshi, a key figure at AM2. There is also an urgent announcement about a nationwide tournament for Fighting Vipers, accompanied by a screenshot of the game, showing Sega is heavily promoting its major fighting game titles. Finally, a section outlines a photo CD contest, detailing the entry rules and prizes. This page dives into AM2 Lab's surprising new project, Virtua Fighter Kids, a charming spin-off featuring chibi versions of the iconic Virtua Fighter cast. Screenshots showcase the pint-sized fighters, including characters resembling Akira and Pain, battling it out in familiar settings but with a distinct, cuter aesthetic. The article includes an interview with a development chief from AM2, who explains the game is built upon the refined system of Virtua Fighter 2, humorously dubbed Virtua Fighter 2.3. He notes that while the look is different, the core fighting mechanics will be familiar to series fans, though the altered character proportions will require different tactics. The interview also touches on the development progress, the distinctive character designs, voice acting, and the decision to give the characters exaggerated facial expressions compared to Virtua Fighter 2. Finally, a humorous section wonders if even the older characters like Shun Dai might get the kid treatment, showing a rendered image of a chibi Shun. This feature highlights AM2's playful side while leveraging their expertise in 3D fighting games. This page features a special interview with Yu Suzuki, the head of AM2 Lab, discussing 3 highly anticipated upcoming titles. The main focus is clearly on Virtua Fighter 3, highlighted by a large title graphic and a comparison showing the evolution from Virtua Fighter 1 to Virtua Fighter 2 and a hint towards VF3. Suzuki talks about VF3's new characters and refined actions, promising a significant leap forward. The interview also touches upon other projects, including the previously mentioned Virtua Fighter Kids and a Sega Sonic fighting game, likely the one shown featuring Sonic and Knuckles. Suzuki explains the rationale behind these projects, aiming to attract a wider audience, including kids and perhaps female fans, with their cute designs and approachable gameplay while still leveraging AM2's fighting game expertise. Screenshots accompany the text, showcasing the evolution of Virtua Fighter's visuals and gameplay and character renders for Knuckles and Sonic in the fighting game style. Suzuki briefly addresses whether weapons will be included in Virtua Fighter 3, confirming the final decision hasn't been made, but stating VF3 will be interesting and confident even without them, viewing weapons as an extension of the hand, not just an addition. He emphasizes the continuous evolution of their fighting game design philosophy. The next page dives deeper into the Sega Sonic fighting game, continuing the interview with Yu Suzuki of AM2. The big reveal here is the introduction of Knuckles the Echidna as Sonic's major rival in the game. The page showcases 3D renders of Knuckles and Sonic, highlighting the polygonal graphics. Suzuki discusses the game's features, including the use of morphing technology for character transformations or damage representation. He confirms Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are planned characters, with aspirations for a roster of up to 8 to ensure variety and balance between types like heavyweight and speed. The backgrounds are based on familiar locations from the Sonic series, such as Casino Night Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog 2, depicted in one of the screenshots. The interview also touches upon the potential inclusion of Metal Sonic, shown in his own render, raising questions about his role. Suzuki expresses confidence in creating a fun fighting game experience, leveraging AM2's expertise while adapting the Sonic world. This page is dedicated to 2 titans of the 3D fighting genre from Sega AM2. On the left we have Fighting Vipers, highlighting the Pepsi Japan Cup. The section features interviews and strategy advice directly from the AM2 development team, including the game's main programmer, offering insights into character-specific tactics, special moves, and optimal combo sequences for characters like Bon, Raxel, Tokyo, Piki, Honey, Grace, Jane, and Sandman. There's also a call for tournament entries. The right side showcases Virtua Fighter 2 with a recurring feature called Virtua Coliseum. This section provides in-depth strategy and tips, focusing on advanced gameplay mechanics. Key topics covered include strategies for countering opponents while they are reeling, performing guard cancels, utilizing invincible recovery options, and mastering delay combos. The visual is dominated by a dynamic, stacked display of character models from the game, including Akira Yuki and Sarah Bryant, emphasizing the game's impressive 3D graphics. This page dives deep into a critical mechanic in Virtua Fighter 2, the reeling or stagger state. It explains that reeling makes an opponent temporarily unable to act, which is fundamental to gaining an advantage in a match. The guide covers the different types of reeling and how players can recover quickly by rotating the joystick and pressing the guard button, stressing the importance of timing. It then moves into offensive strategies, detailing effective follow-up attacks using punches or throws on a reeling opponent, mentioning characters like Akira Yuki, Pai-chan, Lao-chan, Jackie Bryant, Jeffrey McWild, and Wolf Hawkfield. The page also illustrates techniques for intentionally causing opponents to reel, often through well-timed counterattacks or specific character moves. Mastering both causing and recovering from reeling is presented as a key element for success in Virtua Fighter 2. This page delves into advanced defensive techniques in Virtua Fighter 2, focusing on the strategic use of the guard button beyond just blocking. It introduces the concept of guard cancel, explaining how pressing guard can interrupt attack combinations or specific moves, opening up new tactical possibilities. The guide details how this allows players to break out of sequences, set up different follow-ups, and even cancel certain kicks to gain an advantage. A significant portion covers character-specific applications of guard cancel, showing how fighters like Akira, Pai, LeFou, Cage, Sarah, Jackie, Shun, Lion, Wolf, Jeffrey, and even Dural can utilize this mechanic uniquely to enhance their offense and defense. Mastering guard cancel is presented as a crucial skill for high-level play. This page dives into two crucial advanced mechanics in Virtua Fighter 2, mastering the invincible wake-up and understanding delay combos. It explains that invincible wake-up occurs when performing specific recovery inputs after being knocked down, granting a brief period of invincibility, allowing players to avoid follow-up attacks or launch their own offense immediately upon standing. The guide details the advantages, like turning defense into offense, but also highlights the disadvantages and how opponents can break through it by timing attacks or throws. The second major topic is delay combos, defining them as intentionally pausing slightly between button inputs in a combination. This strategic delay alters the timing of the attacks, making it harder for opponents to guard or evade, and can be used effectively as a feint or to catch opponents off guard, turning standard combinations into unpredictable traps. Screenshots featuring characters like Akira, Sarah, Jackie, and Cage illustrate these techniques and their practical application in combat. This page delves deeper into the world of Virtua Fighter 2, starting with some previously unknown name entry secret techniques for the Saturn version. These involve specific button presses during the name entry process that can trigger effects like slowing down the character select screen, character movements, or even duels. Techniques like Y.LL, slow motion, and specific inputs for characters like Shun, Akira, and Dural are highlighted with screenshots showing the effects. The page also revisits the popular Amazing Phenomena corner, showcasing reader-submitted glitches or unusual occurrences in the game, like a specific technique involving Cage. It encourages fans to keep submitting any oddities they discover. Switching gears, there's an update on the official Jackie Bryant leather jacket, featuring photos of the slick, flame-emblazoned jacket available for purchase. Finally, the fan illustration corner returns, displaying impressive artwork from readers featuring their favorite Virtua Fighter characters and calling for new submissions. This page explores the secrets of Street Fighter Alpha on the Sega Saturn, focusing on how to access hidden characters and encounter special intruders. It details the conditions required to face Akuma or Dan as opponents who break into your arcade mode run, strategies for overcoming challenging CPU battles, and hints regarding character-specific tactics and combos are also covered. The page showcases the game's diverse cast with portraits of fighters like Ryu, Ken, Charlie, Chun-Li, and bosses such as Sagat and M. Bison, highlighting that methods for using characters like Akuma and Dan are revealed within. This page dives deep into how to finally control the hidden powerhouses of Street Fighter Alpha on the Sega Saturn. M, Bison, Akuma, and Dan. As expected by players, these characters, previously only encountered as opponents or special intruders as discussed on the last page, are fully playable. The main focus here is on M. Bison, presented as the strongest power in the series. The page details his formidable psycho power and impressive speed, highlighting his unique fighting style that relies heavily on his powerful special and super moves, since he doesn't utilize the chain combo system like other characters. Key techniques covered include his rapid double knee press, the aerial head press, the versatile Psycho Shot energy projectile, and the strategic Psycho Warp teleports, allowing him to appear in various screen locations. His super combos, the knee press nightmare and the devastating Psycho Crusher attack, are showcased, explaining how their power and hit count scale with the super combo gauge level. The article also touches upon Bison's effective ground game, with his quick, crouching medium kick, and his excellent air defense, using the Psycho Crusher. Crucially, the page provides the exact command inputs needed on the character select screen to unlock and play as M. Bison, confirming that the commands for Akuma and Dan are also revealed here, fulfilling player anticipation for their inclusion in the Saturn port. This page focuses on the menacing Akuma, known as Guki in Japan, detailing how to play as this powerful character in Street Fighter Alpha. Akuma is presented as a formidable fighter seeking challenging opponents, known for his overwhelming offense and powerful special moves like the Go Hadoken and the Tatsumaki Senpukyaku, as well as his signature Shun Goku Satsu super combo. The page breaks down Akuma's special moves, showing commands for techniques such as the fiery Shakunetsu Hadoken and the aerial Zanku Hadoken. It also covers his unique 100 Demon Assault, Hyaki Shu, a versatile sequence of attacks initiated from a single command. His devastating super combos, including the Tenma Gao Zanku and the powerful Masatsu Gao Hadu, are highlighted, emphasizing their scaling power and hit count based on the super combo gauge level. Crucially, the page provides the command input necessary to unlock and play as Akuma on the character select screen, fulfilling the anticipation for his inclusion. It also offers tips on utilizing Akuma's strengths, mentioning his strong basic abilities, chain combos, and cancels, making him a top-tier character in the hands of skilled players. The Anything Can Be a Combo section emphasizes his versatility and ability to link special and super moves effectively, showcasing some example combos. This page dives into the comical character Dan Hibiki from Street Fighter Alpha. Introduced in Zero, Dan is an original character with a backstory parodying Ryu and Ken, seeking revenge on Saga. The article highlights the reviewer's opinion that Dan's techniques feel half-baked, reflecting his status as a joke character. The page breaks down Dan's special moves. The Gaduken, described as a short-range projectile best used for super combo gauge building, the Koryuken, a poor imitation of the Shoryuken, the Dankukyaku, a series of kicks, and the Shisu Buraiken, a dashing attack. His super combos are also detailed, including the Shinku Gaduken, a larger projectile, and the Hisho Buraiken, a rapid hit attack that draws opponents in. Both scale in hits, based on the super combo level. Key gameplay advice includes leveraging the Dankukyaku, described as Dan's most reliable move, for offense and pressure. The article suggests that despite his weaknesses, understanding Dan's unique quirks, like his chain combos and cancel opportunities, is crucial for success. An interesting note is included about Dan's voice lines being changed from the arcade version for the Saturn release, leading to some popularity. Instructions for unlocking Dan on the character select screen are also provided. This page provides expert strategies for defeating the CPU bosses in Street Fighter Alpha, focusing on character-specific matchups when playing on the recommended difficulty level. It warns that changing the difficulty significantly alters enemy behavior. The guide breaks down key boss fights: Guy vs. Sodom, Rose vs. M. Bison, Vega, and Ryu vs. Ken and Sagat. For Guy against Sodom, the strategy emphasizes simple chain combos, focusing on standing strong kick and utilizing moves like the Azuna drop for damage and positioning. Sliding is highlighted as a key tool for closing distance and setting up attacks. For Rose vs. M. Bison, the advice centers on countering M. Bison's relentless offense, particularly his head press and Psycho Crusher. Using Soul Reflect is crucial for negating projectiles and setting up opportunities, while Soul Spark or Psycho Crusher, if Rose has meter, are noted as finishers. The text mentions M. Bison's jump attacks can be countered effectively. Finally, for Ryu battling Ken and Sagat, the guide points out that while Ryu is fundamentally strong, the CPU bosses are formidable. Against Ken, controlling space with Hadoken, and capitalizing on openings after blocking key moves is advised. Sagat requires careful handling of his tiger shots and uppercuts, recommending jumping over projectiles and punishing with moves like Tatsumaki Senpukyaku, or capitalizing on Sagat's slow recovery on certain attacks. The page includes small sections listing effective counters for specific techniques used by the bosses. This page continues the CPU Bison strategy guide from Street Fighter Alpha, focusing on defeating him with characters other than those covered previously. It emphasizes that while Bison's CPU AI is strong, it has predictable patterns. The general strategy involves punishing Bison's jump attacks and Psycho Crushers. Specific character matchups are detailed. Chun-Li. Jumpin' attacks with strong punch followed by button mashing is recommended due to his lack of reaction. Guarding double knee press can lead to zero counter opportunities. Nash. Charlie. He excels at close range. Punishing head press and Psycho Crusher with Sonic Boom or zero counter is key. Rose. Similar to the previous page, Soul Reflect is crucial against Psycho Shot, and countering head press with crouching strong punch or Soul Reflect is effective. Zero counter after Psycho Crusher is a guaranteed punish. Birdie. Guarding double knee press allows for a murderer chain punish. Punishing Bison's recovery with Bull Revolver is also highlighted. Guy. His jump trajectory can be tricky. Strategies include simply walking up and throwing Bison, or using jump attacks, followed by the Bushin Izuna drop after knocking him down. The page also briefly notes that the CPU Bison has unique traits like canceling moves into teleports unexpectedly. This page features detailed strategies for Street Fighter Alpha, focusing on two key sections. On the left, it covers matchups against Sagat, providing tactical advice for Akadanon and Ryu. For Akadanon vs Sagat, the guide recommends punishing Sagat's attacks, particularly using jump attacks and jagged kick chains. Ryu's strategy against Sagat emphasizes patience, waiting for openings, and punishing predictable patterns like Tiger Shot, with tactics like the Vacuum Wave, or using dive kicks and hurricane kicks. The screenshots show key moments like punishing Sagat's recovery or using special moves. The right side of the page highlights a Master Combos special feature, focusing on character-specific combo training. It showcases the longest possible combos for several characters in the game's training mode. Characters featured include Rose with a 56-hit combo involving Soul Illusion, Dan with a 14-hit combo featuring his Dankukyaku, Bison with a 7-hit Psycho Crusher combo, Sagat demonstrating a 16-hit combo starting with a short kick, and Akuma with a 10-hit combo involving his Masatsu Goshoryu. Each section includes screenshots illustrating parts of these complex sequences. It's all about pushing character capabilities to the absolute limit. This page jumps into the latest Sega Saturn releases and news. On the left, we get a look at the upcoming 3D action game Gen War, featuring powerful robot combat and a cast of famous voice actors, set to arrive in March 1996. Below that are two fast-paced 3D shooters currently available, Blackfire and Chaos Control, showcasing intense aerial and on-rails shooting action respectively. The right side is packed with news dynamite, keeping players informed. A major announcement is the second All-Japan Puyo Puyo Masters Tournament, detailed with event dates, location, and incredible prizes like a trip to Disney World. There's also a contest for fans of simulation games, inviting submissions for SimCity 2000, Theme Park, and The Tower, with overseas travel again on offer as grand prizes. Screenshots preview these detailed simulation titles, confirming their release in February 1996, and highlighting the depth they offer strategy and management fans. It's a mix of exciting new action titles and community events. This page is packed with news and events for Sega Saturn fans. We see exciting real-world gatherings like a fan event for the classic adventure game 3x3 Eyes, featuring appearances by the voice actors for talks and performances. There was also a lively cosplay dance party, the Super Pain Cosplay First 1996, where fans dressed up as their favorite characters. For fans of the popular dating simulation Tokimeki Memorial, a nationwide fan event tour is announced, allowing players across Japan to meet up. Beyond events, the page covers new merchandise and hardware. There's a unique service offering morning calls from popular voice actresses, and a novel based on the fighting game Darkstalkers is being released. Fans of the simulation game Graduation can get their hands on a detailed setting book and racers can enjoy a music CD for Sega Rally Championship, featuring both arcade and arranged tracks. Bringing the arcade experience home, 2 specialized controllers are highlighted. The Twin Stick, ideal for games like Virtual On, and the Asai Pad X, designed for fighting and action games, offering that precise, authentic feel. This page is a detailed strategy guide for racing game enthusiasts, specifically focusing on mastering the circuits in Frame1 Live information. Part of the Game Research Lab Special, it aims to help players achieve complete conquest in the Grand Prix. The page provides in-depth analysis of 2 challenging tracks, Hockenheim and Monte Carlo. You'll find illustrated track maps highlighting key tactical points, complete with screenshots showing the ideal racing lines and perspectives from within the game. Strategic advice is given for tackling specific corners and sections, identified by alpha, beta, gamma, and delta markers. The guide also includes recommended car settings and race strategies for each circuit, emphasizing braking points and racing lines to help manual drivers refine their technique and improve their performance. It's a technical breakdown designed to help players dominate the virtual track. This page is split into 2 sections, focusing on different genres of Sega Saturn games. The top right delves into theme park as part of the Game Research Lab Special, aiming to help players become the theme park king. It discusses the importance of managing finances, optimizing shops and food stands for maximum profit, and researching attractions to attract more guests. There's a comprehensive list of available attractions, shops, and side games, detailing their guest appeal, durability, capacity, and cost, though the specifics are too numerous to list here. It emphasizes that successful management requires understanding how each facility contributes to guest satisfaction and income. Meanwhile, the left side and top center continue the racing game strategy guide, focusing on the challenging Suzuka circuit. It provides a detailed map of the track, highlighting key corners and sections with tactical markers. Recommended car settings for the Suzuka Grand Prix, including wing settings, tire type, fuel load, and pit stop strategy, are listed. The guide offers in-depth analysis of specific corners, like the first corner, Degner, hairpin, spoon curve, and chicane, complete with screenshots showing the ideal racing lines, braking points, and acceleration zones to maximize speed and minimize time loss. It's a tactical breakdown designed for manual drivers looking to shave seconds off their lap times and conquer this iconic circuit. This page delves deeper into the advanced strategies for becoming a theme park king in the simulation game theme park. It offers detailed advice on effective facility placement, suggesting putting shops right at attraction exits, placing your most popular rides deeper within the park to draw crowds, grouping side games and souvenir shops together, and targeting guests near the park entrance for quick sales opportunities. Operation tips cover evaluating staff performance, understanding and meeting customer needs, referred to as psychological icons, and strategic land purchasing, including dealing with taxes. The advanced section focuses heavily on the financial side, specifically stocking goods for shops and navigating the stock market. It explains the importance of keeping goods stocked to avoid lost sales and managing your inventory efficiently. A key tactic is learning to identify promising stocks for investment to grow your capital. The page includes a list detailing various potential cities for your park, outlining factors like difficulty, population, area, interest rates, inflation, tax exemptions, and real estate costs. Essentially a data table to inform your next park location choice. It also discusses the strategy of selling your current park to acquire funds for developing new land, the challenge of tackling high-difficulty countries, and even touches on whether there's a definitive end to the game. Success clearly hinges on mastering not just the park layout, but also the complex financial systems, especially stock trading. This page features a reader survey and a prize giveaway, encouraging readers to provide feedback on the magazine and the games they play. The survey asks a range of questions about reader demographics, preferred reading material, owned gaming hardware, and experiences with online services. It also solicits opinions on the articles in the current issue and suggestions for future content, including desired game coverage. The main draw is the reader present, offering a chance to win various prizes. These include copies of specific software titles like Night Warriors, Darkstalkers Revenge, Feeble Remake, Titans no Ketsui, PD Ultraman Link, Return to Zork, and Gochu Seimei Pythagoras. There's also a special prize, a Street Fighter Alpha item, for a larger number of winners. Supporting the survey are several tables listing the articles featured in this issue, other gaming magazines, different hardware platforms, and a substantial list of Sega Saturn and Mega Drive software titles, all providing reference numbers for readers to use when answering the questions. The page also includes detailed instructions and examples on how to fill out the survey postcard correctly for a valid entry, noting the deadline. This is clearly designed to gather valuable insights from the readership to improve future issues. This page delves into the world of third-party developers for the Saturn and provides an anticipated game report. The left side features Vantan International, a company with roots in fashion design and education, branching into multimedia. They discuss their approach, mentioning projects like a game based on Murphy's Law, an adventure game called Desmask, combining live action and CG, and a simulation game called Rescue. Their focus is on leveraging their educational background and multimedia expertise. The right side offers a continued report on the highly anticipated Tengai Meikyu, The Apocalypse. The focus is on the game's graphical presentation, highlighting its significant use of 3D graphics, a departure for the series compared to its PC Engine origins. A mysterious polygonal character is prominently displayed, sparking intrigue about its role, possibly a boss, and how it will appear in the game's new visual style. The report emphasizes the evolution of the series' presentation on the Saturn. This page focuses on Far East of Eden, The Apocalypse, revealing new details and concept art for the game. It introduces the protagonist, Rei Shin, and explores his connection to the legendary Fire Tribe, a bloodline of heroes from previous Far East of Eden titles. The page features character sketches and descriptions for Rei Shin and other key party members like Yumemi, Chikara, Gao, and the transforming Ace. Several mysterious enemies and bosses are also showcased with accompanying illustrations, including assassins, a monstrous figure, Madame Appetite, the Sterling Silver Blizzard, and the illusion-casting Candy. Environmental art depicting locations like a Texas town and an ice cave provides a glimpse into the game's diverse settings. Overall, the page offers exciting insights into the game's characters, adversaries, and world. This page previews the upcoming RPG, Gulliver Boy. The game is described as a fantastical scientific adventure set across the Mediterranean Seas. It's a power-up version of the PC Engine Quadrom release, enhancing the visuals with more colors and larger screens for cutscenes. The story begins with the protagonist, Gulliver, graduating from magic school. Following the custom of skipping lessons, Gulliver is forced into a training cave challenge. He then embarks on a trading journey with his friends, starting from Venice. But a plot by the Mediterranean conqueror, Hispania, begins to unfold. Key characters introduced are Gulliver, the son of a wealthy merchant known for fighting and getting into trouble. His companions include Phoebe, a fairy in love with Gulliver, who helps with items and battles, Edison, a genius inventor, and Misty, a traveling songstress pursued by a mysterious man. Gulliver's eccentric inventor father is also mentioned. The gameplay features a turn-based battle system, where a red meter indicates turn order. Exploration involves moving on a field map and entering dungeons where battles occur upon contact with enemies. A unique aspect is trading using a ship to buy low and sell high in different cities to earn money. Other locations shown include a casino with minigames like slots and blackjacks, and an interior shop for buying furniture. The game also highlights different attack types characters can use, including direct and indirect attacks like Gulliver's Demon Globe and Edison's inventions. This page gives us a detailed preview of the highly anticipated return of the J.League Victory Goal series, with the new title, J.League Victory Goal 96. This latest entry focuses entirely on the popular Japanese J.League, featuring all 16 clubs with updated roster data. The game boasts significant enhancements to both its system and graphics. A major highlight is the use of motion capture to bring realistic and fluid player movements to the pitch, showcasing detailed animations for actions like sliding tackles and overhead kicks. The camera system has also been expanded, offering a generous selection of 12 different angles, including various zoom levels, allowing players to find their preferred viewpoint. Beyond the core gameplay, the preview points out new features like the ability to set handicaps in versus matches, and the option to change the weather and time of day, adding variety to the environment. Players can also select from 3 distinct, fully polygonal stadiums, Terzo, Secondo, Primo, each with its own atmosphere. The game even features visual representations of each of the 16 J.League clubs using their mascots. Overall, the preview suggests a significant leap forward for the series, promising a more immersive and realistic J.League soccer experience. This page features previews of 2 exciting Sega Saturn titles. First up is Dragon Ball Z, showcasing its grand opening movie and anime-style battles. The preview highlights the dynamic camera work during fights, emphasizing how the viewpoint changes dramatically to capture the intense action. Screenshots demonstrate iconic moves, like Goku's Kamehameha, Krillin's Destructo Disc, and even Nappa being attacked by a Cyberman. The opening sequence includes CG renderings of characters, promising an immersive start. The second game featured is the strategy RPG Dragon Force, with confirmation of its release date. The preview notes the upgraded graphics and provides a look at the detailed strategy map where players move their armies between territories and castles. It explains the core loop of managing troops, conquering strongholds, and engaging in large-scale battles. The combat sequences transition from the map to a real-time view, where armies clash. The text mentions character interactions and unique events that occur during the campaign, adding personality to the strategic gameplay. This page dives into previews for two anticipated Sega Saturn titles. First up is Story of Thor, an action RPG that serves as a completely new adventure based on the Mega Drive original. It features intricate, interconnected 3D dungeons filled with traps and obstacles. A key new element is a command input system for executing powerful special moves with various weapons, adding depth to the combat. The elemental spirit system from the previous game is also significantly enhanced, with multiple spirits aiding the protagonist in battle. The second game previewed is the famously bizarre shooting game Choaniki Ultimate Man's Counterattack. This Saturn version utilizes unique real-image graphics created by scanning real models. The article notes its similarity to the PlayStation version but hints at differences in visuals and potentially gameplay tweaks optimized for the Saturn, including adjusted boss patterns. The preview emphasizes that the main draw and highlight of the game are its incredibly strange and muscle-bound enemy characters, like the iconic Muscle Brothers, promising a truly unique experience for players seeking the unconventional. This page dives deep into the mechanics of Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoners, specifically focusing on creating powerful equipment through the intricate system of sword and demon fusion. It highlights how combining specific demons with weapons can yield incredibly potent results, showcasing a list of 17 such powerful fusion swords and their recipes, emphasizing that crafting the absolute strongest requires careful planning and high demon loyalty. The article also explains how to efficiently raise your demon's loyalty, a crucial factor for successful fusion, and obtaining special items through Magatama transformations. It details different methods to boost loyalty, and reveals the existence of 13 unique Magatama items that change form based on loyalty and the demon's type, offering unique benefits. Screenshots demonstrate the game's battle system and menu interface, providing a visual guide to these complex systems that are key to mastering the game and overcoming its challenges. This page continues the deep dive into Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner, shifting focus to the game's climactic endgame leading up to the final battle. It acts as a guide for players navigating the later stages, detailing crucial locations and challenges. The article highlights key areas encountered as the story progresses, starting with the expansive Chinatown district and its challenging boss, Guan Yu. It notes the large map size and warp points, requiring careful navigation. Next, it covers Heaven's Tower, a multi-floor dungeon filled with teleporters and demanding combat, culminating in the battle against a powerful entity known as the Outsider's Law. Navigation tips are provided, emphasizing finding the quickest path through the complex floors. Finally, the page introduces the existence of a hidden extra dungeon, accessible via the underground waterway, promising even tougher enemies and rewards for those seeking the ultimate challenge. Guide maps for Chinatown, Heaven's Tower, and the extra dungeon are included, alongside screenshots showing the environments and boss battles, offering essential visual aids for players tackling these late-game trials. The content emphasizes the need for high-level characters and strategic preparation to overcome the formidable opposition guarding the final sealed area. This page dives deep into the strategy for Sega Rally Championship 1995, focusing on mastering the unique Lancia Stratos car. It highlights that the Stratos offers a different driving experience compared to the Celica and Delta, requiring players to adapt their techniques. The guide explains how to check the Stratos' performance, noting its high speed but challenging handling and tendency to drift. It then provides detailed tips for tackling specific courses, starting with the desert stage, emphasizing managing speed and handling corners, particularly the triple jump section. The forest stage strategy focuses on required minimal braking, timing drifts for dirt and paved sections, and navigating tricky corners, including a notable hairpin after a tunnel and a difficult checkpoint section. Screenshots illustrate key moments and techniques on both courses, serving as visual aids for players
aiming to shave seconds off their times. The overall message is that while difficult, mastering the Stratos is key to achieving the best times in the game. This page details strategies for tackling the mountain and lakeside courses in Sega Rally Championship. Mountain demands precision driving with constant speed adjustments on a mix of paved and dirt surfaces, requiring controlled drifting and optimal line selection. Lakeside presents an even greater challenge due to its all-dirt surface, necessitating mastery of slides and subtle acceleration adjustments. Screenshots illustrate key sections and successful maneuvers for both courses. Additionally, the page announces the first interim results for the Sega Rally Championship Time Attack contest, showcasing top times across beginner, intermediate, expert, and super expert classes as of January 12th. The contest involves specific cars on different courses and is open for entries until February 9th, with prizes like trophies, special goods, software, and phone cards. The text encourages players to improve their times before the deadline. This page is a strategy guide for the fighting game Ninku. It focuses on mastering special moves and continuous attacks for 7 of the characters to gain victory. The guide starts by explaining basic controls and the importance of chained attacks, showing examples. It then dedicates sections to individual characters. Fusuke highlights his speed and small size for fast rushdown tactics, detailing his essential special moves for offense. Akane, described as balanced with good anti-air and projectiles, emphasizing connecting moves for effective combos.
Aragishi, a power fighter who excels at close range, focusing on devastating continuous attacks. Makira, each character section includes screenshots demonstrating their abilities and lists their special move command inputs. There is also a small section providing tips for fighting against the computer opponent. This page dives into the details of managing a J.League club in the simulation game Let's Make a J.League Professional Soccer Club. As the owner-manager, your goal is to guide your club to the championship by handling all aspects of its operation. The page explains how you'll train players to improve their skills through various methods, give tactical instructions during matches based on the game's flow, and acquire new talent, including foreign players, to strengthen your squad. It also covers the broader business side, such as managing finances, developing club facilities like the stadium, securing sponsorships, and even designing uniforms. Screenshots showcase the game's interface, from training menus and player stats to match situations and financial reports, giving a glimpse into the depth of strategic management required to succeed. It's a simulation focused on the strategic mind behind the team, rather than on-field control. This page continues the guide for Let's Make a J.League Professional Soccer Club. Quote, focusing on player acquisition and team building, it explains the process of scouting potential players and the negotiation required to sign them, noting that you get up to 3 attempts to reach an agreement. New free agents appear in January, providing another source of talent. A major element discussed is recruiting foreign players, who offer powerful skills but are limited to 3 per match squad. The page includes a significant list of recommended foreign players from various countries like the Netherlands, Italy, Brazil, and Argentina, briefly describing their strengths or nicknames. It also issues a crucial warning about game over conditions, which can occur if your club's finances plummet, you have fewer than 8 players, or you consistently finish low in the league standings. Screenshots show negotiation results, scouting reports, foreign player profiles, financial statements, and the game over screen. This page introduces Taimagyo Savers, an adventure game that features a lot of live-action footage, presented like a TV show with distinct episodes. You, the player, have been turned into a jewel by monsters, and you guide 3 young women, the exorcists or savers, to seal these creatures away. The core gameplay loop involves interacting with townspeople to gather information, much like an investigation. Once you've pieced together the clues and located the monsters, you engage in battles that incorporate strategic, simulation-like elements. While you control one character directly, you issue commands to the other 2, coordinating their efforts to seal the monster using their unique abilities. The 3 heroines featured are Hina Sugizuki, Wakahane Kisaragi, and Geka Kaga, who are members of the idol group Feel, making their debut in this game. The first episode focuses on the mystery of stolen cakes, which leads the heroines to investigate and eventually confront the monster responsible, an entity connected to teapots. The game emphasizes using the heroine's special skills effectively to weaken and finally seal the monsters before a time limit runs out in battle. The screenshots show various scenes from investigation, dialogue sequences with character portraits, and the tactical battle interface. This page dives into the world of Fida, the Emblem of Justice,
a simulation RPG getting a remake on the Saturn. The game is highlighted for its deep worldview and a story that unfolds through unique characters designed by Tamaki Imoto. It features characters from various races, including humans and wolf-like beings, with over 20 allies possible. Gameplay revolves around moving on an area map, gathering information in towns, and engaging in strategic battles. Combat is mission-based, where objectives influence outcomes and character titles, which in turn affects future allies. The remake boasts enhanced visuals and adds voice acting to cutscenes and the opening movie, which is described as an animated sequence, with full voice work setting up the story. The page showcases impressive battle scenes, with flashy magic and special moves, noting that the remake adds new ones. Key characters like Ains, Brian, Belsark, a robotic knight, and Polvor, a large beast, are shown and described. The story itself is called a hard-boiled tale of war between two races and the fate of the protagonists, Brian and Ains, who become fugitives. This page previews Admiral's Decision 2I, a WW2 strategy game focusing on naval command and grand strategy across the Pacific. This page introduces Admiral's Decision 2I, a deep strategic simulation game set in the Pacific theater of World War II. Players take on the role of an admiral, managing fleets, resources, and conducting operations on a large hex-based map. The game emphasizes the importance of preparation before battle, including fleet composition, base management, and resource allocation, influenced by negotiations in strategic meetings. Success hinges on achieving objectives that vary depending on the chosen scenario, ranging from detailed short missions to expansive, long-term campaigns requiring careful national operation. Gameplay involves commanding fleets in naval battles and directing landing operations to capture enemy bases, utilizing various combat types like naval gunfire, marine assaults, and air attacks. Players can also employ spies for reconnaissance and track enemy movements, though direct control over the army is limited, with their actions influenced by strategic discussions. The page showcases screenshots of map view, combat sequences, including large naval engagements and air attacks, highlighting the strategic depth and scale of the game. This page dives into the unique simulation/action game, The Horde. You play as Chauncey, tasked with protecting your village from the relentless attacks of monstrous creatures known as the Horde. The game cycle revolves around a year, broken into distinct phases. Development turn, where you prepare your land and defenses, followed by the battle turn, where you fight off the incoming monsters. This is followed by accounting to tally results, tax collection to pay your dues to the king, and finally shopping to buy items and improve your village for the next year. The development turn is crucial for setting traps and managing your economy, earning money through harvests and sales to afford defenses and necessary items. The battle turn is where you put your preparations to the test, strategically placing traps and directly engaging the various types of horde creatures like the Pambi, Piranha, Giant Horde, and Forest Horde. Failing to pay taxes results in a game over, adding pressure to your economic management. The game features live-action full-motion video sequences, often with a quirky or comedic tone, adding to its distinct personality. Screenshots show the isometric view of the village during development and battle phases, various monster designs, item displays, and stills from the FMV scenes, including interactions with the king and other characters. Protecting the village requires careful planning in the development phase and skillful execution in battle. This page features two distinct Saturn titles. First up is PD Ultraman Link, a falling block puzzle game starring the iconic Ultraman heroes and their monstrous foes. It puts a unique spin on the genre, allowing players to match colored blocks to unleash special attacks against their opponent, whether it's the computer or another player. The game offers various modes like versus battles, a story mode, and training. You can choose from a roster of classic Ultraman brothers and significant kaiju, each likely having unique abilities tied to clearing blocks. The screenshots show colorful, blocky representations of the characters and the puzzle grid, giving it a distinct look. The second game highlighted is RoboPit, a robot customization and fighting simulation. The core concept here is building your own fighting machine by assembling various body, head, leg, and arm parts. The goal is to climb the ranks by challenging and defeating other custom robots. Winning battles is key to acquiring new parts, allowing for deeper customization and stronger robots. The game appears to focus on strategic combat, where your robot's build influences your fighting style. Screenshots show the detailed customization interface, a versus screen pitting two robots against each other, and intense battle sequences. It looks like a promising title for players who enjoy both strategic building and direct action.
This page features two very different titles. On the left, we see Return to Zork, a classic adventure game making its way to the system. The magazine highlights the game's premise, starting with a mysterious message found in a mailbox, and emphasizes its use of live-action FMV sequences featuring a large cast of characters. Players are tasked with exploring locations, talking to people, and solving puzzles to unravel the mystery. The article points out key aspects, like the importance of paying attention to hints and being careful where you step, illustrating it with screenshots of locations and characters. On the right side is Shichu Suimei Pitagraph, a software title focused on fortune-telling. This game uses the 4 Pillars of Destiny system to provide readings. Users input personal data to receive predictions about their life, compatibility with others, and even a prediction of their lifespan. The screenshots show the data input screen, compatibility results between individuals or groups, and a dramatic display of the predicted remaining days of life. It appears to be a comprehensive digital fortune-telling experience. This page is dedicated to Hyper Ultech, a collection of valuable tips and tricks for various Sega Saturn games, submitted by readers and rated on a 1 to 5 scale. The feature kicks off with a 5-star tip for Virtua Cop, explaining how to access a gun select option from the title screen, allowing players to choose different firearms for improved gameplay. Moving down, there are tips for Sega Rally Championship, detailing how to select the arcade mode Stratus car and its setup. Darius Gaiden gets multiple entries, offering secrets like enabling rapid fire, adding extra levels to the game, and significantly increasing your starting credits. All highly rated tips that can make the game much more accessible or challenging. Other games featured include the Hypergolf Devil's Score, with a tip for accessing a visual test, Cyber Troopers Virtualon, which lets you access a camera mode during pauses to view characters from different angles, and Mobile Suit Gundam, showing how to unlock a movie test viewer after clearing the game. There's also a tip for the visual novel Hizashi no Omoid plus Himekurigoto, revealing how to unlock all the photos in the album. The page concludes with a section inviting readers to submit their own Hyper Ultech tips for a chance to win cash prizes based on the rating given to their submission. This feature clearly caters to the dedicated Sega Saturn player looking for an edge or just fun secrets in their favorite games. This page features upcoming titles with a large "Coming Soon" banner, highlighting exciting releases for the Sega Saturn. On the left, we get a preview of Shadowrun for the Mega CD, a unique RPG blending science fiction and fantasy set in near-future Japan. Players will control a team of 4 runners tackling various missions, utilizing different game modes, including adventure, mission planning, combat, and navigating the virtual matrix. The preview highlights distinct character types like Rikudo and Mao with their unique skills, alongside screenshots showcasing the game's diverse environments. To the right, the legendary vertical shooter Donpachi is previewed for the Sega Saturn. Straight from the arcade, this game is known for its intense bullet hell action, powerful bombs, and giant boss encounters. The page details the scoring system, which rewards players for skilled play and destroying enemies, and notes the inclusion of the essential vertical screen mode for an authentic arcade experience. Screenshots display the chaotic gameplay and impressive boss designs. The page gives a glimpse into the variety of games arriving soon, from the deep, atmospheric RPG world of Shadowrun to the fast-paced, challenging action of Donpachi. This page continues the Coming Soon theme, showcasing a trio of exciting titles heading to the Sega Saturn. First up is a preview of Wizardry V and V2, presented as a compilation. The article highlights the evolution of this classic RPG series, focusing on the character creation system, with a vast array of races and classes. A notable point is the addition of visible character portraits and a new skill system, offering players deep customization. Screenshots show party views in dungeons and character creation menus, emphasizing the detailed character customization. Next, we see Snatcher, Konami's renowned cyberpunk adventure game. This section details the game's premise: hunting biomechanical invaders called Snatchers who replace humans. Players take on the role of a junker detective in Neo Kobe City. The preview mentions the story progresses through examining scenes and engaging in conversations. Screenshots depict iconic scenes, including confrontation with a Snatcher and interaction with the companion character,
Metal Gear. Finally, the page features Mansion of Hidden Souls, an adventure game with a unique twist. The core mechanic involves exploring a mysterious mansion filled with deadly traps that drain your character's HP. The goal is to solve the mansion's mysteries and find hidden treasure.
The article notes that restoring HP requires finding specific points. Screenshots show various locations within the eerie mansion, a ghostly samurai guardian, and key characters like the protagonist's friend and their loyal dog.
This coming soon preview showcases several Sega Saturn titles. Suiko Enbu, a fighting game, boasts enhanced graphics, strategic weapon use, and guest characters. Virtual Casino offers 5 classic casino games with various modes, including story and versus play, utilizing CG visuals. Brain Battle Q is a quiz game featuring score attack and battle modes, with potential for real-world prizes. Finally, Virtual Photo Studio simulates photography, allowing players to photograph models in diverse settings, with unlockable stages and an in-game catalog for ordering real-world items. The Sega Saturn's coming soon titles include a diverse selection, with a focus on simulation and anime-style games. Idol Janshi Tsuchipai 2, a sequel to a popular arcade mahjong game, features enhanced animations, new characters, and modes like free battle and a sound test. Seabass Fishing offers a realistic saltwater fishing simulation with 3D graphics, a tournament mode, and a beginner's guide. Fishing Koshien presents a high school fishing tournament experience, where players build teams and compete across Japan, targeting various fish species with advice from professional anglers. Both fishing games aim to provide engaging gameplay through simulation and strategic team management. The Sega Saturn is set to receive a diverse range of games. The Gradius Deluxe Pack, featuring arcade classics Gradius and Gradius 2, is highlighted for its faithful arcade experience and customizable settings. Histoire Zico, a unique soccer game, offers instructional content led by Zico himself, covering techniques and strategies. Logic Puzzle Rainbow Town is a puzzle game with hundreds of challenges. Aero Fighters Special, Sonic Wings Special in Japan, a compilation of aerial shooters, boasts multiple games, stages, and a boss rush mode. These previews demonstrate the Saturn's growing library, offering classic arcade action, strategic shooters, instructional sports software, and brain-teasing puzzles. The next page gives us a look at 4 very different upcoming Sega Saturn titles. First up is a mahjong game, which oddly enough is supervised by a real mahjong pro and focuses on improving your skill, even featuring AI that apparently doesn't cheat. You can play standard matches or delve into a story mode with 16 unique characters, each with their own personality and playing style. Below that is a cyberpunk RPG called Cyberdoll.
Set in a futuristic city, you play as part of a special unit battling mysterious mechanical life forms. The character designs are highlighted as being done by a figure designer, which is cool. The battle system seems unique, focusing on equipping parts rather than just leveling up, with dynamic combat sequences shown in screenshots. The bottom left features Sanroku Go Quiz 365, a quiz game designed to feel just like a TV program, with the quizzes changing daily to mimic a broadcast schedule. It covers various topics and features a clear, TV-style presentation. Finally, we get a look at Doraemon, Nobita to Fukatsu no Hoshi, an action game featuring the beloved characters. It uses CG rendering for the visuals, and looks like a platforming adventure where you utilize Doraemon's secret gadgets, with different characters appearing and gadgets influencing the gameplay as you progress through the stages. The page gives a nice overview of these diverse titles coming to the Saturn. The next page previews several more upcoming Saturn titles. Leading off is Mortal Kombat 2 Complete Edition, which the magazine points out is a faithful arcade port from Midway, known for its brutal fighting action and famous finishing moves like fatalities, friendships, and babalities, all showcased with screenshots. The article notes the Saturn version boasts improved graphics compared to other console ports of the time. Next up is 3x3 Eyes, based on the popular anime and manga. This adventure title comes on 3 crids, with the third disc highlighted for containing bonus content like character profiles and lore. The game also features a beautiful animated opening sequence, with several screenshots shown. Further down, we see Kitchen Stadium Tour, a game based on the popular TV show Iron Chef. It functions as a database and adventure game where players can explore the iconic Kitchen Stadium, learning about the famous chefs, ingredients, and the show itself, even including a quiz mode to test your knowledge. Finally, True Pinball offers a realistic pinball simulation. The game includes 4 distinct tables, with themes ranging from legal dramas and beach lifeguards
to extreme sports and Viking adventures, promising detailed graphics and engaging gameplay. The page also briefly touches on other upcoming games, like the adventure game Heart of Darkness, and a fishing game from THQ called The Fish, among others. The next page is the Sega new release calendar, laying out the upcoming software for the Sega Saturn, Mega Drive/Mega CD, and Game Gear. The Sega Saturn section is packed, detailing releases from February through July, plus a substantial list of titles with undecided dates. February and March show a strong focus on arcade ports and fighting games like Virtua Fighter Remix, Virtua Cop, The King of Fighters 95, Darkstalkers, and Mortal Kombat 2 Complete Edition, alongside RPGs like Dragon Force and strategy titles like Guardian Heroes. As the months progress, the calendar reveals more sequels and diverse genres, including Fighting Vipers, Cyberbots, and anticipated titles in the undecided section, such as Dark Savior and Albert Odyssey Legend of Eldian. While the Saturn is the clear focus, the Mega Drive/Mega CD and Game Gear still feature new releases, including popular series like Streets of Rage 3, Shining Force CD, Snatcher, and Sonic Drift 2, demonstrating continued support for the older hardware. This page provides a comprehensive look at the immediate and near-future software landscape across Sega's platforms.
This page is dedicated to the Sega Saturn release of Gulliver Boy, an adventure drama RPG. The headline excitedly announces its arrival on the console. The page features striking character artwork, showcasing the game's unique visual style, alongside several smaller screenshots demonstrating the gameplay and cinematic elements. Key features highlighted include powerful and dynamic battle sequences, a deep trading system that adds strategic depth, and impressive animation sequences that are described as going beyond standard TV or video quality. The characters are said to be emotionally rich, with their expressions changing frequently, and the game boasts participation from numerous voice actors, including veterans like Noriko Hidaka. The page also prominently features the staff credits, noting Oji Hiroi as the supervisor and Toyo Ishida for character design. Notably, Akira Toriyama is credited for special mecha design, bringing a touch of his famous style to the game. Scheduled for release in March 1996 on 2 Crydrams for 6,800 yen, Gulliver Boy is presented as a significant title, promising an epic adventure in a 19th century Mediterranean setting, driven by the ambition and imagination of the era.